Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to create some watercolored fall leaves, specifically a watercolored fall leaf panel to add to any of your cards that you like. So let's get started. I need to get my glasses on so I can see what we're doing. We're going to start out today with a 3¼ inch by 5-inch piece of the new Fluid 100 watercolor paper. That's what we're going to use to start out with. And because I'm going to be using a photopolymer stamp, which is the clear kind of stamp that you attach to a clear block. Now mine's a little colored because I've been using this beautiful Mary Merlot color. But when we're using photopolymer, we usually use a Stampin' Pierce mat down below to give it a little more area to press down, a little more softness down below there. And I've wrapped my Stampin' Pierce mat in a little bit of graph paper because I am kind of messy. Now, another thing that I'm going to show you today, it's almost time for our holiday catalog. Our Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. It goes live on September 4th, 2019, and so I want to give you a sneak peek of a stamp set called Tidings All Around. I love it because it has a great wreath, it has some wonderful sentiments, and it has this beautiful leaf stamp that's the one we're going to use today. So I'm actually just going to be stamping up from this side, and then I'm going to turn my paper around and stamp up there. And I'm going to use some beautiful colors. The first one is Pumpkin Pie, and the second one is Mary Merlot. Mary Merlot is one of my favorite colors. It's a beautiful deep burgundy. And we are also going to be using our watercolor aqua pen. I almost forgot the name there for a minute. And that's what's going to give us the watercoloring, but we get to start out by just stamping, so that's what makes it easy. If you're not a big watercolor person, I love using the aqua pen because it's easy to use and it makes my projects look a little more fancy than they might otherwise be. So I'm going to get some ink, some Pumpkin Pie ink on my beautiful leaf stamp, and I'm just going to stamp along the bottom here, probably 3 different times, and then I'm going to take my aqua painter, and you can see the water that's in there, and I just squeeze a little bit until some comes out on the tip here, and then I just start moving the color around. And this causes the color to blend the stamp for one thing, and it also adds color to the rest of the project, the rest of the piece. Now I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. Get my ink on there, and I'm going to alternate a little bit. Oh, this is my Mary Merlot, I forgot. Okay, I'm stamping in Mary Merlot, which is just gorgeous. And you can see how it gets dark when it touches the water, and we're just going to blend that. It doesn't matter that the colors all go together. It's just gorgeous. And those colors will continue to blend just like they are over here. Now I'm going to put a few more Mary Merlot leaves in this area to get that to blend like that. And we're just going to keep on with our, just putting not too much water, just getting it, it's not gobs of water, it's just barely moist. And pulling the color all around. It's not hard at all. And now I'm actually going to stamp some of my color off here. I would normally clean my stamp, but I'm kind of in a hurry because I am excited about this project. So I'm going to add some more pumpkin pie leaves in here. And the more you do, it just adds more color to to your panel. Isn't that easy and quick? Just like that. And what do you think? Now we'll set this aside to dry. And there we have our watercolored fall leaf panel. I'm telling you, Pumpkin Pie and Mary Merlot together are beautiful. And I'm really looking forward to the fall leaves this year. Now, I also wanted to show you how to do the little sentiment here. So, because my piece is wet, my watercolored piece, I'm going to just describe to you what I've done. So this was 3 1/4 by 5. Then I cut a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock at 3 1/2 by 5 1/4, which will fit right under there when my piece is dry. And I glued those two together, and then I lifted them up on Stampin' Dimensionals on the normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. So I've attached it so that this panel is risen up a little bit. But I thought I might show you how to do this cute little sentiment. I like to do that. Just sometimes I think it's a little bit sweet. And so it's a little kind of a rolled scroll looking piece. So I've got that's a 1/2 inch by about 3 inches piece of pumpkin pie cardstock. And this sentiment that I'm using here, many thanks, is from the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. Now we don't need our Stampin' Pierce mat underneath for this because this is a cling mount stamp and it has the rubber on it, the rubber cushion. I'm going to use Mary Merlot ink. Let me be sure I get it the right side up. And I'm going to stamp that and hope I get it even. Okay, that came out pretty good. Now, to attach it to your card, you're going to use mini glue dots. And also, to cut this little flagged end there, I'll show you if you've never seen this. You cut in this way, halfway between the left and the right side, cut straight in, and then cut from the corner to the center. And this makes a nice little flagged end, and it usually turns out pretty well. I might just go back and trim that one spot. And if you don't like the way it came out, you can redo it. And then what I've done here, I don't think, my piece is still a little too wet, but what I've done here is I've just tucked this piece under the ribbon, and this is copper trim. I've got it right here to show you, this beautiful copper trim. And one neat thing about this trim is it kind of comes out like that. You can pull it apart. I did slightly fray my edges there. So what I did is I tucked this piece under the copper trim and I put a little mini glue dot under there. And then I just rounded it. In fact, I rounded it a little bit before I put it on, I think, like that. So I have it glued on the left, and then I'm just going to press it up a little and put a glue dot down underneath, down under there, and glue it. That's how you make that little old-fashioned kind of scroll look for the sentiment. Now the leaves are these beautiful leaves trinkets. And they come in silver and copper, and I have to say, with this card I used up all my copper ones. I actually like those better, but I'm going to have to start making some things with silver to use the rest. But the copper just looks so pretty with this copper trim. And then I want to give you another little preview of something new coming out in the new holiday catalog. And it's called Delicata Pigment Ink. And I don't know if you can see it here a little bit. I've used the tiniest bit on my card. After it was dry, I used a paintbrush that I happen to have around, and I just touched the ink pad, and then I touched a little of this sparkly gold Delicata ink, and it gave it just the nicest little sparkle there. I was actually going to try it here. This panel is a little, not totally dry, but a little bit dry. And I'm going to just lay my brush down to try to get a little bit of the ink on there. You see how it just has a little bit? I'm going to brush a little bit off, and then I might just lay it down on here. See that? How it's giving those really nice little dabs, if I might say, of gold sparkle. You can use this in many, many ways. This is actually the first time I've even really played with it, was when I did this card. So I have a lot to learn, but I just think that little gold sparkle just looks really cute, doesn't it? Can you see it on there? I know it's a little hard to see with the camera, but I think it's just beautiful. So when this is dry, just to go over it again for you, I'm going to, I will put my ribbon, my copper trim around it. I'll put my leaf trinkets on with mini glue dots, and I will put my sentiment strip there with mini glue dots. And then I'll glue the entire thing. I will use Stampin' Dimensionals to attach it all to my card base. So there you go, a beautiful card for a thank you card, or you could have any sentiment on there. But it's just, I think it's a gorgeous fall card, and I love the way those colors blended together. Our Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog is coming out soon, like I mentioned. If you'd like one, email me at peggy@prettypapercards.com, and I would be happy to send one right out to you. And if you'd like to purchase any of these products for your fall needs, you can email me or go on my blog at prettypapercards.com. The Delicata ink and the new Tidings All Around stamp sets do not come out. They're not available until September 4th. But after that time, they'll be available. So I really appreciate you stopping by today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.